it's this idea of white guilt that we see a lot. Like you got to be apologetic because you're white. I'm like, dude, like why?
Exactly.
I don't want white people to feel guilty for being white. I don't want black people for being guilty for being black. I just want people to be comfortable with who they are. And I think it's okay. Like, I'm okay with people being a little racist, actually.
Yeah.
Like, don't be hateful. Like, don't be a dick. Like, be a good person. But, like, subsects of people are naturally different.
Yeah.
And what's wrong with acknowledging that? I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I've never met an intelligent man that's not slightly racist. I have to say. of any race,
Yeah.
Because you notice patterns, you notice differences, and you should. Doesn't mean you hate these races. Doesn't mean you judge people individually from that race. Like I'm very critical of Israel. People think I hate Jews. I have a couple good Jewish friends. We
have a Jewish producer
yeah,
here.
Right? Exactly. One of the guys, or the guy in the studio, not my main producer. He's always like, everyone thinks I'm Jewish. It's like,
not the guy you're talking about.
Yeah, right. So he gets upset. But exactly, you should. There are real things to races, but you also got to learn to view everyone individually.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with people being nationalistic. I think Americans should be proud to be American. I think Koreans should be proud to be Korean. I think the Chinese should be proud to be Chinese. And I have no problem that the Israelites or the Jews are proud to be Israeli. Like
the black ones or the white ones?
That's great.
I love the black Israelis. I gotta get one of those black Israelis on there. They're so crazy, but I love them.
Dude, I was about to interview. I haven't interviewed him yet, but there's a couple like real Semite Jews that I've been trying to get on, and they're like, wait a second, we actually don't like the Zionist stuff. Like I was born in Israel, I was raised in Israel, I'm from Israel, and I am not on board with
what they're doing.
Bibi and Netanyahu and what he's doing. I am not okay with this, and they keep on saying they're Jewish, but I'm Jewish, but they're racist towards me growing up. And he was like, look, when I was growing up, like they considered you outside of the main Israel society if you were not a Zionist.
Or the Ashkenazi.
Ashkenazi,
they're kind of the ones that seem to think they're superior.
Yeah. He's like they're so racist against us because I'm a brown Jew. But like I've been Jewish and in Israel and my family's been here for centuries.
Yeah,
you guys just got here and you're telling me how to live.
Most of them came from Poland and Ukraine.
Yeah, and if you say that, you're like, you're an anti-Semite. Like, why?
Well,
this is what people there are saying.
Well, it's like, if I criticize Israel, they hate Jews. But if I criticize China or North Korea, you're not going to go, why do you hate Koreans? So if I start criticizing Korea, but like Jews start criticizing Israel, why do you hate Jews? It's just such like a whiny baby attitude that people are just sick of it.
Yeah, people will say like, oh, during TikTok ban, like, oh, the Chinese are stealing all of our data. And it's like, well, we don't mean every single Chinese person in the world, all billion of them are stealing your data. Yeah. You're talking about the Chinese culture or the Chinese like leadership in general.
Exactly.
But you're not saying that every Chinese person is stealing your data. And when Trump said, oh, the Mexicans are rapists and criminals and they're coming over, you don't mean every single Mexican.
Yeah. More white people bitch about that than Mexican people. It's funny because the Mexicans, there's all the white liberals being like, I can't believe he called Mexican rapists. A lot of Mexicans are like, whatever.
Yeah, like
we kind of
true.
are. Yeah, we are. We cause a lot of trouble. Let's build that. So many Mexicans now are like they don't want more immigration. They don't want America turning into Mexico.
Did you see the rioting going on in Mexico right now, in Mexico City?
No, what's happening?
This podcast episode was brought to you by VP.net, the only VPN that can't spy on you. The Mexicans are mad that so many American tourists are coming to Mexico.
Really?
Yeah. They're like, dude, go back to America. Why are you
build the wall.
Build the wall. Stay over there.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, because they're coming down. They're raising the price of things.
Because a lot of them are living there. It's like
they're moving there.
Tons of them are moving there because it's way cheaper.
Exactly. And they're like, dude, you're raising our cost of living. You're bringing your kind of ideas and values, and we want to be Mexican. Like, why are you guys all coming in here? And it's like, wait a second. I thought we were trying to keep them out, but they're also trying to keep us out. It goes
both ways, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, no one's like, oh, they're so racist, Like, why is it only racist one way? Everyone actually does it.
No, it's weird. And the funny thing is, the white liberals are the worst obnoxious people. And so many minorities I talk to, they agree. They hate like the self-hating, whiny, like white people. It's like they prefer someone that's like honest and can admit they're a little bit racist. And like I said, every race is a little bit fucking racist. I think white people are the least racist to the point where they start becoming racist against ourselves. And that's just embarrassing.
In Korea, they call white people pigin. Pigin means white person. So you literally call white people in Korea. But no one's like, oh, that's so racist. But here, if you're like, yellow person. It's like, that's racist. Like, wait a second, what?
Yeah, people
We
are just
literally
way,
say that.
people are just way too
all the
fucking
time.
sensitive.
You know?
I think that's cool about like fighting gyms. Like we all mix together all these races and we can like talk shit to each other and but everyone's equal on the mats. But you can like say the most absurd racist shit, but you don't really mean it, or maybe you like half mean it and you get away with it. So I think it brings men closer together when we like talk shit to each other. If you're like tiptoeing around like, oh, I don't want to insult his culture, and like I have friends like his one girlfriend came over. I think she's like. I forget what kind of Asian she is, but the guy is always, parents always showing him like the wrong, oh, look at this. It's like Chinese things. I think she's like Japanese. It's just like, oh God, just trying so hard.
Yeah, I think people like try to be accepting and understanding. Actually, I think people naturally do want to get along. And sometimes you just don't know. You don't know what you don't know. You know, I remember I had these, like I live in Georgia and I took these two like super hillbilly, like super Georgian guys to a Korean barbecue place. And they're like, I don't know if we can eat this. You know what I mean? And we're eating like some like doenjang. It like stinks and it looks funny. What is this? Like, it's like fermented bean. And they're like, dude, no way. You know? And we go through the meal and all of a sudden like, can we take the menu home? Because I want to tell my wife what we ate and I want to make sure I eat the same thing. Because you don't know what you don't know. But once you've experienced it and once you're open your mind to the fact that like things are different and you're able to kind of have an interaction, then like it becomes a part of you and it's okay.
Yeah, I've traveled the world, immersed myself with these different cultures, and I've been treated well everywhere I've gone. I think because I come with the right attitude, I try to learn the customs, not to disrespect people. So you can cross, but there are places where race gets tricky, which I'm kind of unsure of. I think when people come to America, they need to assimilate and become Americans and love America. I think if you start bringing too many people all at once from the area, that's when you get people not becoming American, staying in their own cliques. I don't think you should necessarily lose your entire culture when you come here, but you have to, like, in my opinion, you have to put kind of America first and kind of adapt more to the American culture. What's your opinions on that?
I think people that come here because they want to assimilate into American society and culture. I think it's a balance between not forgetting where you came from, but at the same time respecting where you are. And I think that's how our family was. You know, like we're obviously like very American. We vote. Everyone's an American citizen. Everyone tries to do it the same. Everyone tries to do it the right way. At the same time, we still adhere to a lot of Korean cultures and traditions that we had kind of for hundreds or thousands of years. So we try to do a mix of the both. But at the same time, I'm not going to try to convince someone to like adhere to what I believe, you know, or I'm not coming here to try to change anybody.
Yeah, you're not trying to change America into Korea. You're just keeping some of your own traditions that your family has had for thousands, if hundreds or thousands of years.
And I think that's like, and maybe that's the knock on Americans throughout the world, is that when Americans show up to a different country, they're like, well, you have to believe what we believe. And you have to kind of adhere to these trans rights things.
Gay rights, trans
yeah, in the world,
rights.
they're like, wait, we don't want to. But the Americans show up like, no, you have to. Like, well, why?
Exactly.
It doesn't make any sense. It's this idea of going to other countries and changing the way that they are and what they believe. But I think you just let people be who they are. And if the values are that in America we believe in freedom, we believe in individual rights, we believe in the right for people to protect themselves, then that should be the core. Why are we putting like cultural fringe ideas on the population?
I strongly agree. I think we go into the other countries and we try to put our morals on there, like Afghanistan. They're not America. Who are we to tell them what their rights are? You know, I remember before the Taliban marched in, I think maybe a couple weeks or a month before, they were painting George Floyd murals on the wall. There's not black people in Afghanistan. Like, why are they bringing this nonsense there? And then you wonder why people applaud as Taliban marches in. It's just like, and I'm not making an argument the Taliban's all good. They have things that are bad about them, but I have a bunch of Afghan friends, and a lot of them prefer the Taliban over the options. They said there's all these different warlords. They bring order. No, there's bad parts about them, but if you look at the options, you know, the culture and the people should get to decide what they want, not America. We shouldn't come in and be like, you can't have these people ruling over you.
I've heard that a lot about the cartels in Mexico, is that some people actually like living in cartel-run areas because the idea is that, you know, the cartels are bad and they're all drug dealers and they're just killing people and etc. But what they say is in certain parts of Mexico, like the federal infrastructure is just not there. And the cartels keep balance and they keep order. And as long as you're not doing anything wrong and you're not going against them, and you just understand that they're the ones that are the order keepers, like society actually runs smoothly, and there's less crime, and people aren't robbing each other, because if you get in trouble, then the cartel is going to come after you, and they don't actually mind it.
Yeah, I think there's huge differences in different areas in cartels. I think some of these cartels are rotten and evil. I think other ones, I'm not going to endorse them, but there's been places I've been, you meet some of the lower guys, people seem to respect them, like them a little better. Obviously, anytime I'm in Mexico around cartels, I'm very careful. But I've seen guys, you're reading up and you're like, oh, in this town, supposedly these people keep the order. People don't steal bikes. They don't, but these guys don't go and fuck people for no reason. But there's other areas where they'll kidnap you and sell you back for no reason and stuff like that. So it's like, I think there's a huge difference with the witch cartel. But again, it's not something I'm an expert on.
Yeah, me neither. I just know that I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, I was in a town when I accidentally ended up around some of them, and I was like, oh shit. And I started looking it up, and I was reading how this town has some of the best like cartels that look out people. And I'm like, okay, I feel a little better.
Yeah, I think it's, I travel the world a lot. I go to a lot of different countries. And when you travel, like you have these preconceived notions of what you're told about this country. For example, if you go to China, or you go to Vietnam, or you go to Mexico, or wherever, Colombia, and you're only told the negative about all of it. And you go there and you're like, huh, their system kind of works in a weird way.
Yep.
All people aren't bad. Like, oh, the Venezuelans are horrible. And then I meet some Venezuelans, like, oh, but that guy was like legit. The only place I'm like worried to go actually in the world is like Israel.
I don't think I'd go there right now. I've been to Israel before.
Yeah.
And they treated me great when I was there. It was IDF. I was doing stuff with them. They just wouldn't allow me. I had friends in the West Bank at the time. They wouldn't allow me to go down there. I should
Really?
have just split off and gone by myself. And that was kind of what made me first start going down the rabbit hole, that they were just so adamant that I couldn't see the West Bank.
Wait, how did they stop you though?
I guess they couldn't have physically stopped me. They were just kind of my drivers and stuff, and they kept saying no. I could have maybe just gone up by myself, but they were like kind of transporting me around.
Yeah.
And they were just so adamant that I don't go there. Oh, terrorists are going to kill me. But I had a friend there going like, bro, I have family here. Just come, please see it. And
Yeah.
I really wish I would have like split off by myself and just said, they couldn't have physically stopped me from going, but they were just very adamant that I couldn't go down there.
Thanks for watching the clip. If you want to see the full episode, click here. If you want to see more clips, click here.